How many of you remember Landmark Beach? I know the sound I like you do. Landmark Beach that was demolished because they wanted to do Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. The road was supposed to start just beside Eco Hotel. So the first kilometer of that road, na Landmark Beach day. So when they started to demolish, Landmark Beach was one of the first things they demolished. Government told us they were going to compensate the people who have buildings and property along that road. But I see Paul Onuanibe now, the CEO of Landmark Beach, telling us that they have not been compensated. 1 naira has not been given to them. And do you guess how much was destroyed in that property? Do you want to know the budget, the worth of that property that was destroyed? Let me play this video for you so that you will hear directly from the horse's mouth.
You mentioned that 6 years of investment wiped out in 6 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, we choose to have 6 years, but to put this in perspective, right? This was my life's work. So It was 27 years of hunting, farming, and working, right? But that site we bought in 2006, 18 years ago. So it's not really, and we paid $17 million in 2006. Just to put things in perspective. 6 years was when we borrowed $30 million to develop that beach. So the pain and the hurt is that we spent $30 million developing the infrastructure on that beach. Half of that money you couldn't see with your eyes. I mean, it was underground. We had the water reticulation system. We had fiber optic cables. We had a 1.2 kilometer broad walk. Underneath it was the drainage, the water, the electricity. I mean, it was a world-class world service structure that you couldn't even see with the eyes. So there's that pain that you've lost, and we borrowed $30 million abroad. So you obviously have that foreign exchange impact at the same time. You lose the income that was coming from there, which we're using to do so many different things, as well as paying our loan back. Then you've got to begin to try to understand the impact on the ecosystem of the business. And the reason why we're a business, leisure, lifestyle platform developer is that you come to one place and you can do everything. So whether it's a conference, watch a movie, eat a meal, do some work, sit on the beach, have a party. I mean, you could do literally anything. So a major part of that was lost, and it had knock-on effects on the other parts of the ecosystem. But you know, the biggest tragedy of this were the businesses that were affected by the losses of revenue. So, I'll start with the formal and then the informal side. So the formal ones were obvious, all the businesses that were within the Landmark ecosystem and on the beach itself that were destroyed. They were destroyed without notice as well. Many of them didn't have time to remove TVs from their walls, fridges from the kitchens and stuff. I remember when Breeze was being demolished, there were guests in the pool, right? So it was tragic. There were over 160,000 members of the beach. We had 9.2 billion naira of members' money in our accounts.
Investors.
We had contracts. When this thing was demolished, I had to negotiate. I think there were about 200, and we counted. We had to go through them one by one. Over 200 contracts. So whether it was things like FM contracts, supply of water, toilet roll, fumigation, light bulb maintenance, lifeguard contracts. We had a water cleaning system that cleaned the sea, and then the Norwegians did. We had signed a 3-year contract. We were in the second year of that 3-year contract. All these things were all prepaid and obligations. Sometimes you wish that there was a natural disaster, right? At least that it's a force majeure. But when we talk about losses, it's a lot of people just see and say, well, you lost the infrastructure. But it was a lot more. The guy parking cars on the streets didn't have a job anymore. The person selling sweets at the gate. There were people who built hotels outside Landmark that were full every time because of this thing. I mean, to put into perspective, we had 4.5 million visitors a year. We employed 4,000 people. They say in Nigeria, the dependency factor is 16, right? So 4,000 people employ times 16. So that we're still seeing the effects of this. We were issued a 7-day notice. I mean, to be fair, it probably took another 2 or 3 months before it came.
So there was no meeting.
Till today, nobody picked up the phone, called me, or wrote to me personally and said, here's the issue you have, here's what's going to happen. But that site we bought in 2006, 18 years ago, and we paid $17 million in 2006. We borrowed $30 million to develop that beach. The pain and the hurt is that we spent $30 million developing the infrastructure on that beach. But you know, the biggest tragedy of this were the businesses that were affected by the losses of revenue. We had a beach hotel and people were sleeping in the hotel when the demolition started.
Are you serious?
We didn't have time to take the fridges from the rooms, the TVs from the walls, the mattresses from the beds, the pictures on the walls. We didn't have time to take the plates from the kitchen. There were guests in the pool. There were over 160,000 members on the beach. And someone has decided, or a set of people have decided, that a road infrastructure project is more important than socio-economic activity along that 700-kilometer coastline. Look, unfortunately, I was the first kilometer.
Were you compensated for this?
Not a penny. Till date, we haven't been compensated.
Is there a promise?
Nobody has written to me and promised.
Wow. Okay. If you have visited Landmark Beach before, you will understand how $30 million went down. Landmark Beach had everything you need in life. There's an event center, there's a hotel, there's a club, there's a restaurant, there's a cinema, there is a parking space, there's a barbing salon, there's a car wash, there's everything you need in Landmark Beach. So when you come and you destroy, we're talking about not be 10-room hotel here, not be 30-room hotel, a top-star hotel. If you have furnished a 2-bedroom flat before, with minimum type of furniture like this one, your furnish normal, buy TV here, buy internet here, push here, put dining here, you will know what it takes to lose all your furnitures in one day. We're talking about a hotel that have over 50 rooms. You demolished it in 6 hours, and the government did not even have the conscience to say, clear this your hotel, park this your fence. Now wetin cause them with trauma good air quarrel with this one. Trauma good air say she wan park her things, they no gree. Now before we blame tribalism on it, understand that demolition came from the Ministry of Works. The Ministry of Works has a minister that is an Igbo man, former governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi. Now he clear your own brother business. So you understand that these people are wicked. Not about tribe or religion, they are wicked people. This man went to borrow $30 million from abroad to come and invest here. Number one, the dollar declined. So dollars only go use 100,000 pay last year. 200,000 no go even pay this year. Then you destroy that business. I don't know why he's still smiling and doing this interview. I don't know the kind of winch win in shop, but that's a lot of guts because that thing could cripple him for life. Then tomorrow now, when they don't tell people where they are abroad, say they not carry their money, investment here, we go say they badmouth the country. Is it not obvious that this country is a wasted product to invest in? Bro, if you get money, no investor here. If you get 100 million, your investment in Nigeria should not be more than 30% of your network, because Nigeria can happen to you any minute. Your investment in Nigeria should not be more than 30% of your net worth. If you have 100 million, let 70 million be sitting in another country in investment, and keep 30 million here. Because those people you want to employ, when the project will start, now they go clap for the people who they wicked you. Do you know there are many Nigerians supporting the government for demolishing this man's property just because they think he's an Igbo man? But when he was employing people, he did not employ only Igbo people. Because they are lying that way they answer, they say, I share my pass by 1,000 lower, 2,000 lower. They are not Igbos. I feel so much for Paul, wow. I feel so much for him. Well, when they let me manage my small 2 million when I take the front.